My name is Rita Farrell. Can you hear?
What do you want to?
I do hope we won't have interruptions.
All right.
I believe that this permit should not be granted. First, because the issue of public benefit was raised, but there is no public benefit in accordance with 149M11 because of expansion at the waste management turnkey facility and the Androscoggin Valley Regional Landfill known as Carberry. Their expansions have taken care of the projected needs of the state for the waste generated within the borders of the state of New Hampshire, which is the only requirement according to RSA 149M, which is the statute that governs solid waste in the state. DES's own projections show there is no need for 1.3 million cubic yards of capacity as that would be created by this burn design. Another reason I think this should not be granted is because calling this permit a modification rather than a standard permit or a new permit does not comply with DES's own definition of modification. DES has failed since the year 2000 in previous administrations to address the hierarchy of waste disposal mandated by the legislature in the year 2000 that begins with reducing waste, with reusing materials in the good old Yankee way of use it up, wear it out, make it do or do without. The next step is recycling. That has not been addressed, and we're very low in the area of recycling. And the least desirable option, and the one to be avoided according to the legislation, or to the mandate, is landfilling. And yet that continues to be the option chosen. NCES is a wholly owned subsidiary of Casella Waste Systems Incorporated, which is based in Rutland, Vermont. Casella controls NCES through its ownership of 100% of the stock of the predecessor company, Consumat Sanco, which is incorporated in Virginia. The state never addresses Casella as the parent corporation. It chooses to deal only with the corporate entity known as NCES, North Country Environmental Services. So I have a question that I've asked before. What kind of financial and legal accountability does the state's preferred entity, NCES, have? And what are the implications if this corporate entity declares bankruptcy or is faced with an environmental disaster? That's one direct question. Mr. Gould?
I think the DES regulations address financial accountability, and actually it's not something on which I pretend to be an expert, so could you address the financial accountability issue?
With respect to NCES specifically, please, because Casella has the deep pockets. I don't know what the financial makeup is of NCES. It seems to be just a paper corporation.
Well, all solid waste facility owners and operators in the state have to have financial assurance, as does NCES. That financial assurance is there in the event they're no longer there, and a third party has to step in and close the facility and monitor. This financial assurance for foreclosure and post-closure care that is put in place for every facility in the state before they can start operating. And
are those figures in the permit application showing that in fact if NCES declared bankruptcy, would Casella, would you reach into the pockets of Casella to be able to take care of it?
We could pull the financial assurance. Yes.
No, you could reach into Casella's resources?
Well, the financial assurance, there's, I think NCES has a letter of credit as financial assurance, and all financial assurance is in the name of DES. So we can, yes, we can, if we have to, we can get that money and close the facility and set up a post-closure campaign. And is that, the financial assurance is updated every year.
Thank you. There's never been, to my knowledge, a health study done for the Casella landfill. Is there any reason why that is the case when there is that possibility in the Department of Environmental Services? Or if I'm wrong about that, please correct me. Has there ever been a health study? Since landfills are known to have problems with health in the community.
I'm not aware that a health study has been done on that landfill, and I'm not sure it's something that we've done in landfills. Generally, health studies that are conducted or required by the department are to address a particular release of a contaminant that is known, and then evaluating whether that contaminant has had or might have an adverse health impact on residents in the neighborhood or people in the area. So in the absence of any specific data detailing a release or a contamination problem that's above standards where there's an exposure pathway to residents or to others, I'm not sure what a health study would look like.
Okay, they've been done, but thank you.